Welcome to DeFi Crypto today. Our topic today is KlimaDAO, the Carbon Black Hole. Okay, so hope you're intrigued. So this is a new project. It just launched earlier this week. You can see a couple of things that's still not yet working. They're fixing bugs as we speak. This project is a carbon copy of OlympusDAO. So if you're familiar with OlympusDAO on my videos about OlympusDAO or Wonderland, they use the same technology. Okay, but this one is designed to lock in carbon credits. Okay. So your tokens are backed by carbon credits. We're going to explain now that that thing works in a moment. Okay, and we're going to try to do a little demonstration and see if we can buy climate tokens and stake them to earn compound interest. All right, and I invite you, implore you to watch my Wonderland Compound APY video where I explain how to calculate very easily with your phone calculator in 30 seconds the interest you're going to get for a day, a week, a month, a year, whatever you want. Okay, because compound interest seems to be confusing a lot of people, so I want to make it easy for everybody to understand this. Okay, you don't just take the APY and divide by 365. That does not give you a daily rate. No. It's not calculated like that. The daily rate is very small, but it grows. Okay, it snowballs. You know, because you're getting interest on top of interest in this system at OlympusDAO and at Wonderland. Okay, and most places, most DeFi protocols where you see APY. Okay. It compounds. Okay, so you earn interest, and then you earn interest on that interest, and interest on that interest, and so on and so on, and then you get a lot of interest. Okay, it becomes very, very big the longer you invest. If you take it out after a day, you get a tiny bit of interest. If you take it out after 6 months, you get a huge amount of interest. Okay, all right, let's explain KlimaDAO. So this is what it's going to look like. You have this big black hole sucking in carbon. All right, so let's read through this. It explains pretty well what we're talking about. So you have the Klima Treasury. The Treasury is the center of the black hole. Every Klima token is backed by 1 ton of verified tokenized carbon reduction or removal. These can remain locked in the Treasury indefinitely or sold to balance the price of climate. Carbon credits. KlimaDAO is a vacuum for carbon. So you see it's sucking in carbon right there. The Treasury only accepts certified, third-party verified emission reductions from reputable carbon markets, sometimes called carbon offsets or carbon credits. Each is tokenized in a transparent and traceable way to prevent double spending or double offsetting. These credits are sucked off the market and absorbed into the system through a bonding mechanism. And that bonding mechanism was invented by OlympusDAO, and it's used on OlympusDAO, on Wonderland, and here now. Okay, but it's not yet activated on KlimaDAO. They're going to activate it a little bit later. Okay, well, at the time I'm recording this, maybe by the time you see it, it's already in function. Okay, now they explain a little bit about the bonding. Bonding is how carbon enters the Treasury and new Klima token is created. Anyone can buy Klima at a discount by bonding carbon units and LP shares over a set vesting period. Same thing if you were on Wonderland or OlympusDAO. Staking. Carbon comes in, value comes out. The holders of Klima can earn compounding interest on their Klima by staking. Staking encourages long-term holding of KlimaDAO and allows participants to benefit from the rising price of carbon. Now, why are they talking about the rising price of carbon? Okay, so the carbon credits, okay, is basically, you have companies that try to reduce emissions, okay? So they have technology that locks in carbon, that reduces carbon emissions, and so on and so forth. And those guys earn carbon credits, okay, to reward them. And they can take these carbon credits and sell them on the open market. And they're bought by companies that pollute too much because the government is forcing them to buy carbon credits because they're major polluters. So it's cheaper and easier for them to just buy those credits instead of closing their factory or changing their technology to reduce pollution. So they keep on polluting, but they have to buy those credits. Okay? Now, this is the purpose of KlimaDAO. They want to buy all the carbon credits off the market. So they already started since launch, okay, and they bought millions of carbon credits already. Okay, and I'll show you what that means. But basically, if they manage to buy a very large chunk or even all of the carbon credits of the market, if they become big enough, the price of carbon credits is going to go through the roof. Right now, it's pretty cheap to buy carbon credits. Okay, so if they can take all the carbon credits off the market, companies that pollute will have to pay a lot more for those same credits. So imagine if KlimaDAO is able to make the price of carbon credits raise tenfold or 100-fold. It's going to become prohibitively expensive for polluters to make pollution. And that's the whole point of this. Okay? So, not only can you earn a really high APY, I'll show you in a minute, but you could theoretically help reduce pollution by investing here, and hopefully perhaps helping fix climate change over time. Okay? Alright, so let's keep on reading. As a protocol generates a profit through the bond sales, this profit is allocated to everyone who has staked KlimaDAO. So they make a lot of profit selling those bonds. Those the value that they collect, okay, goes into the treasury, and then they give part of those profits back to the KlimaDAO holders that are staking the KlimaDAO. If you don't stake, you don't get any reward. So it's a DAO, it's a protocol, it's an ecosystem. The KlimaDAO's goal is to accelerate the price appreciation of carbon assets, as I just explained. A high price for carbon forces companies and economies to adapt more quickly to the realities of climate change and make a low carbon technologies and carbon removal projects more profitable. So it becomes more profitable to reduce pollution because you're getting carbon credits, and those carbon credits have a higher value. And it becomes more expensive to pollute because you have to buy those carbon credits by law, and it becomes crazy expensive to pollute at that point. So through the Klima token, we will maximize value creation for our community and create a virtuous cycle of growth. Eventually, the Klima token, each backed by real, verified carbon assets, will function as a fully sustainable asset and medium of exchange with real planetary value. So that's their goal. All right. Now, they have a lot of information at the bottom. In the community, they have a very active, there's over 20,000 people in their Discord server. So you're invited to join that and check it out. Okay, if you have questions, you can always ask there. There's a lot of documentation explaining a lot of stuff. So we're going to see a little bit of what they've got here. Okay, so, okay, it's not refreshed yet. Okay. So they're talking about the launch and reflection on their manifesto. You can read their manifesto later. The most important thing for you, if you just start, okay, is this link here, the KlimaDAO Community Hub. Why? Because there's a page there that explains everything you need to know to buy the Klima token. So that link brings us here. I'm new to Klima. How do I participate? See? Alright. So written a little bit small. So I'm going to make it bigger so we can see what we're talking about. Alright. So they explain everything very basically. So you need a Metamask wallet. Okay. And you need to be on the Polygon network. Okay, so Polygon MATIC, you set up your MetaMask like this, and you're on MATIC or Polygon, whatever you want to call it. Alright, and I'll show you something because it's important. So go to settings and go networks. If you don't have it, you add network and then you put this information that I'm going to show you. Okay, so this is the information that you need. The network name. Typically we call it MATIC mainnet, so that's what I'm using. Now they have a new RPC URL. Okay, this is the latest and greatest. Okay, it's polygon-rpc.com. Okay, use that. They have several RPCs. Okay, and this is the newest one. The latest and most upgraded server. So this one is faster because in the past some transactions would take forever. So now use this. The chain ID is 137. The currency symbol is MATIC. So you need some MATIC tokens. Not a lot, actually, because that's the great thing I love about the MATIC or Polygon network is that it's super cheap. The gas is like 1/100 of a cent per transaction, okay? So if you buy yourself 1 or 2 MATIC tokens, they're going to be good for, I don't know, 5,000 transactions, something like that. It's crazy. All right? And then you need the polygonscan.com block explorer. Okay? Once you've got that, you add and you're all set, okay? Except that you need yourself to put some MATIC tokens, which I'm going to show you. You need some MATIC tokens here. Okay, how do you get that? Well, if you're at Binance or probably Coinbase as well, but definitely Binance, okay, you can buy the MATIC token there, and you use the withdraw function. You copy this address here, and you put that in the address on Binance, okay, and you send it here. So you don't need a lot. What you could do, actually, if you want to buy the Klima, you need 2 tokens. Okay, so you need a little bit of MATIC to pay your gas, and you need USDC, not USDT, USDC tokens, because that's the only one that is going to work on Sushiswap to buy Klima tokens. Okay. So again, if let's say you're using Binance or another centralized exchange, you need to withdraw MATIC and USDC to your address, Metamask address here. Okay. All right. So, all right. So as they say, you need to install your Metamask. You need to add the Polygon network. You fund your wallet on the Polygon network, as I just explained. So it's all explained in greater detail here. If you have already Metamask set up on other networks, I don't know, like Avalanche or Ethereum or whatever, you can bridge the funds over to your Polygon. Okay. All right, and then they show this. Okay, so they explain here if you're on Binance or OKX how you can transfer MATIC over to your wallet. So just follow these instructions; they work. Okay, and then here they explain how to buy Klima directly. Now, here's something very important. You see this red address here? All right, that's the token address for Klima tokens. You need this in your Metamask, and you're gonna need this on Sushiswap. Okay, I already set it up, but I'll show you what to do. So you copy this, right, and you go here in Metamask, okay, and you have your list of tokens here. You go to the very bottom of the list, and there's a button that says import tokens. You paste this here. Everything else should fill up automatically, and then you hit that button. So that's going to give you the Klima token. All right. So in my case, it's already there. And there's two. There's the regular Klima and the sKLIMA. sKLIMA means staked Klima. So after you buy your Klima, it shows here. After you stake it, it shows here. Okay, and you also have BCT, which I'm going to explain. It's not Bitcoin, okay? It's not BTC, it's BCT. I'm going to explain that in a minute. Okay, so that's another type of token. It's tokenized carbon, essentially. So if you wanted to do bonding, you would use this. All right. So they explain here the bond thing, which I'm not going to get into. Me personally, I just like to buy the tokens and stake them. All right, so they explain the staking and so on. Okay, all right. Okay, so if we are on their Discord and we go in under announcements, they had a message dated the 19th of October, okay? And it's a long message, you have a lot of information in it. And what you need, okay, are these token addresses, okay? So this is the Klima token, and this is the sKLIMA token. That's the staked Klima token. So this one, if you want to see your tokens in your MetaMask wallet after they are staked, you add this to MetaMask. So just do like I did earlier. Okay. All right. You can also add the BCT token, and I'll explain what this is in a moment. All right. Now let's go to Sushiswap. Now, you make sure that you connect first your wallet, and then you choose USDC at the top, and you look for Klima at the bottom. Okay? So in our experiment, we're going to try to buy $100 worth of Klima. So we have 100 USDC, and we're supposed to get 0.049 Klima. All right? So, oops, right now we're getting more, the price just changed and there's a lot of slippage. Okay, let's refresh. There's not a ton of liquidity at the moment because it's a brand new project. So you're going to expect that. Okay, we saw a 1% slippage. All right. It's 1%. We're not going to die if we lose $1. Oh, now it's better. All right, let's swap it. So confirm the swap, and we confirm in MetaMask. Confirm. Okay, now you could add the Klima token directly here if you didn't do it earlier. Okay, so that's a good idea. You click here, like this. And you're not going to get the logo, but anyway, you can still click Add Token. And there we go. Would have been nice to get this logo though. Okay, so let's check that we have 0.049 something token. Okay, yeah, so we have 0.048 KlimaDAO. Okay, that went well. So let's go to the actual, well, just before, I want to make sure I explain something quickly, then we're going to go and stake our KlimaDAO. Okay, we talked about earlier about the carbon offset token. Okay, so here they tokenized the Toucan Carbon, okay, is another protocol, and their business is to tokenize carbon offset credits. And they created this token called BCT, not Bitcoin, okay, not BTC, BCT, which is the base carbon tonne. So you're getting a ton of carbon, literally, when you buy one of the BCTs, okay? And the BCTs are used by KlimaDAO as the reserve asset. So that's what's sitting in their treasury, okay? When people bond, okay, they give BCTs, okay, well, an LP pair that contains BCT, okay? But we're not doing bonding right now, we're just doing staking. But I just wanted to mention this so you understand what BCT is about, because you're going to see it on the website, okay? All right, so let's go to the actual staking page, okay? And right now I have a little bit of sKLIMA. Okay, I need to refresh. If it doesn't show your balance that you have in Metamask, it should show right here. You need to refresh the page. It doesn't do it automatically. So we're refreshing. And it says it's loading, 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 loading. And there we go. All right, so we have, we can see everything now. This is the KlimaDAO I've got in my wallet. This is the KlimaDAO I staked so far. The time until rebase. What does this mean is how much time you have to wait until the compound interest on top. Okay, they're going to give you more stacked KlimaDAO. So in 6 hours and 4 minutes right now. The next rebase is going to be 0.54%. So 0.54% of this is going to be added to this. The ROI for 5 days would be 8.39%. So if you keep it for 5 days, you're getting 8.39%. The APY means the rate for a year. If you were to stake this for a year, you would get 35,927% at the current rate, which is going to change every few minutes. So, you know, it's an approximation. And I'll show you a little bit later how long they expect that this rate is going to last. Okay. Now, the current index is not yet working, because they didn't do what I always recommend, which is get audited before you launch. Why people don't listen to me? You see, that's why I always talk about audits, people, okay? They introduced a little bug in their protocol right there, okay? This current index thing is not working at the moment, and well, they're going to fix it at some point, but when? I don't know. Okay, and who knows, maybe they introduce other bugs in the system. Okay, it's supposed to be a straight copy from OlympusDAO, but they introduce some bugs. Okay, they're human. Okay, mistakes happen, that's normal, and that's why audits are there. Those guys are trained professionals that are supposed to go through the code and find errors, okay? They might have found this error if they had the thing audited before launch. I guess they were in a hurry. I don't know. Anyway, it's not audited yet, They say they want to get it audited after launch. Yeah. So when, I don't know exactly. Hopefully soon, and hopefully they'll fix whatever the problems might be, if there are any. Okay, well, there's at least that one. So anyway, hopefully nothing dangerous for my investment. That's why we need audits. Show me the audits. All right, so great. Now I've got KlimaDAO. I'm ready to stake. So what do? I can write the amount here or just hit max. So I hit max. This is the amount that I have here in my Metamask. I hit stake. Okay, I need to confirm. It's confirming. So the website doesn't refresh automatically. So it's better if you want to know if it's working, you check here and you see that your transaction is pending, because the website doesn't tell you anything. So right now we can see that, okay, the staking has happened, it's finished, it's ready. Okay, if we go down, you'll see that I should have 0 KlimaDAO down here, but it's not showing properly. And I should have 0.742 sKLIMA, state KlimaDAO. So that's showing though. So let's refresh to make sure everything is cool. And it's loading. And we should see the correct amounts appear in a few seconds. Yes, that's what we want to see. So the KlimaDAO that was in my Metamask is gone. And now I've got sKLIMA instead. Okay, and everything looks perfect. So it's working. Okay, all right. So now you understand what you need to do. That's not so complicated. Okay, it was a lot more complicated during launch. I tell you, there were all kinds of errors and mistakes, like this stuff here. Okay, don't use this. Okay, this is for people that staked on the day of launch and they had all kinds of problems. So if you don't see your staked KlimaDAO here, just refresh the page. You don't need to go through these steps. No. It's complicated. Okay, it's very technical stuff. Don't do it. Just refresh like I just did, and the numbers, the correct numbers should appear like they did. Okay, so I invite you also to join their Twitter. So don't forget, they have a Discord. There's very important information there if you want to see your sKLIMA in your wallet, in your MetaMask wallet. Go to the Discord and look at the announcement. There's a big thing with a lot of information in there. All right. Now, this is their KlimaDAO Twitter account. And they see in green apparently. Now this is a very interesting message that they sent, they retweeted, and we're actually going to I'm going to show you this. This shows you the inner workings of the protocol. It's very interesting. So here's something very interesting as well, is that they already locked enough carbon in just a couple of days to make it the equivalent of 11% of the carbon emissions of New Zealand for 2018. So that's quite significant, and they managed to achieve that in about a day and a half. Okay, that's pretty cool. So hopefully this project is going to be successful, and hopefully a lot of happy investors and happy Green Party people, I guess. All right, let's go and check the information that they talked about on their Twitter. Okay, there's a ton of very valuable information. Now, be aware that this protocol is brand new. Okay, so there's not a lot of data, okay, yet. So you cannot consider this a long-term trend yet. Okay, this is as it stands at the moment, at this very second. So you can see the current price of the KlimaDAO. Okay, but you can expect that this is going to change every few seconds on Sushiswap, simply because there's not that much liquidity at the moment. So expect very wild price fluctuations. Okay, very wild. I'm saying this thing could go up and down several $100s in a day. Okay, don't be alarmed. That's kind of normal for the OlympusDAO model, okay, which is used by Klima. Okay, the tokens from OlympusDAO, Wonderland, and I expect the same for KlimaDAO, have very wild fluctuations. You could have ups and downs of 50%, right? So if you worry about that, well, maybe that's not your kind of project. Okay, so all right, currently there's already $500 million worth of market value. Okay, market cap. That's pretty impressive for a day and a half. That's huge. All right, so there's already 12,000 Klimates. That's the fans, okay, that hold tokens. I'm a Klimate. Now, see this thing, that's the current index. Remember the thing at the bottom that's at 0, that's not working? Error! They put a bug in it. Okay, so eventually they're going to fix this, and we're going to have a value here as well. The value here should be the same as what's on the protocol. Alright, circulating supply, total supply, so we see that. Okay, this is the market cap since October 18, so it started October 18, on the 20th at the moment. Alright, and you have stake and not staked, so obviously at the very beginning people could not stake because it wasn't working. And now it's working, so most people are staking, which is what we expect. We have 93.9% of people that are staking, and 6.1% of people that just don't know what staking is about, and they don't know, they're not getting no interest. Go and tell them. They need to get interest. Stake. Alright. Alright, this is the base Carbon Tonne here. So this is inside the treasury. Okay. Alright, so the risk-free value. So this is the risk-free value of the carbon base, and this is the total carbon tons that this represents. So there's 3.9 million total carbon tons at the moment in there. So they sucked in almost 4 million tons of carbon in a day and a half. Not bad. Market value of the treasury assets. So what's inside the treasury is worth 43 million. Okay. All right. Risk-free value of the assets. So you have a graph over time, but you know it's only a day and a half. Okay. So I'm not. This will have a lot more meaning after a few weeks and months. Okay, then we're going to see where things are actually going. Okay, it's too early right now. Now these are LP fees. So obviously on the day of launch, you had like almost 20,000 people trying to buy and stake and everything on the LP pools on Sushi. So they collected Sushi fees for that. Okay, so there was quite a bit of money that was made during the first couple of days, and of course after that it's less. So hopefully this number is going to grow over time as well. So as I said, it's very early on the protocol. Now the runway at the current reward rate. The runway is how long they expect the current APY to last. Now it's very early. Okay, so we don't have a lot of people using the protocol yet. We don't have a lot of people that bought the climate token yet. So the treasury is not crazy rich yet. Okay, so currently at those rates, it says 66 days. Okay, so that's a couple of months. Hopefully the rates are going to find an equilibrium, and we're going to have something that's going to last longer. Typically these protocols like OlympusDAO and Wonderland, they try to have a runway for about a year. Okay, 360 some days, give or take. Okay, so that people can you know, think, okay, if I stay for a year, I should get about this much, and I can do the calculation on a little calculator. And I showed that in the video, right? Don't forget to watch the Wonderland APY Calculation video that I made. It's very popular. People love it. All right. So right now, at the current rate, we expect to last about 66 days. So the rates are probably going to go down unless they start making a lot more revenues. Maybe a lot more people are going to be bonding once the bonding is available, and so on. Okay, and this is the number of Klima people. So it's been rising, and that's good. So you can get all that information if you go on the Twitter. Okay, and this information will update instantly. Okay, so you'll see the progress of the Klima project. All right, that's it for this video. If you like this kind of stuff, please like and subscribe. For the algorithm, I need the algorithm to be happy with me, okay? So you have to hit the like button and the subscribe button. Oh my God. And ring the bell. This way you know when the new videos are published. You can also download the free book. It explains some very low risk token strategies. Okay, and if you don't like it free, you can pay $5.99 to Jeff Bezos at Amazon, and Jeff will send me a check for $1 later. See you.